Tofu, bean curd or wara, is a delicious and healthy delicacy. In this video, I'll be showing you how I made this deliciousness. You are welcome. Let's get started. I used soya beans. Of course, this is what we used to prepare this delicacy. I used 3 baking cups of soya beans. Soya beans is always filled with dirt, stones, and little sand. You will have to get rid of all of these before you start processing. Get rid of all the particles and, of course, the not so good ones. Make sure you remove them and wash thoroughly. You may want to do this under running water. Wash until the water is clear. Once it is clear, you will add enough water, about 2 to 3 times more than the level of the soya beans. This is because these beans can swell up. It can really soak water. So make sure you add enough water and keep this in a cool and dry place, or simply put this in your refrigerator overnight. After about 12 hours later, these beans should be very soft. The skin should be able to come off easily. At this point, I will simply pour away the water I soaked this with, add another water and begin to wash by rubbing it in between your palms. Just the way you wash your beans for moi moi. Wash in between your palms and the skin will be able to come off easily. This is the skin. I will simply separate the skin from the beans, and here they are. I will be trashing this. At this stage, if you can use your blender at home to blend, you are good to go. I'll be going to the mill to blend mine. Make sure you blend very well. Once this is ready, the soya beans should look frothy, just like so. It shouldn't have any soya bean chunks. If yours has soya bean chunks, this is not ready. Make sure they are as smooth as this. Then I will add water just to make the consistency light. Mix, mix, mix until you get a lighter consistency, and then I'll be using my muslin bag. You can also use a cheesecloth or a chiffon cloth to strain, just the way you would strain your pap. Okay, it is as simple as this. Once you pour the liquid in your muslin bag or your cheesecloth, you will notice that the milk drips out from the bag easily. Just to help this process, I'll be shaking this, shake, shake, shake. That's the way you do this for your pap. Look at the chaff. I will be straining this to get more milk. You should do this, don't just strain once. I strained this twice and look at the milk. This should have wasted. Don't allow this to waste. Always sip twice. Look at the okara. This okara can be used in your burgers. It can be used in cookies or bread. Livestock also feed on this. Some animals feed on this as well. If you don't have any need for this, you can add it to your compost or simply trash it. Next is the milk. This is a medium-high heat. Make sure you keep an eye on this. It can really bubble quickly. You can stir from time to time so that it won't burn. Next, we'll prepare our coagulant. There are so many things you can use as your coagulant, from pap water to vinegar to lemon juice to gypsum powder to Epsom salt. Whichever one you are using, get them ready now. If you are using lemon, make sure you squeeze out the juice of about 3 to 4 lemon. Back to the milk. Once this starts boiling, we are going to add our coagulant. If you would want some soy milk, you can scoop out some once this starts boiling. I've made a video about that. I'll be linking it in the description box below so you can know how you can make your soy milk without that beany taste. I used half cup of vinegar going in now. Once this starts boiling, take this off the heat and add your coagulant. This will take about 5 to 10 minutes to coagulate. Make sure you leave this until everything is well separated. You can see the water. You can also see the tofu. Just look at that. This took about 5 to 10 minutes for the curds to be well separated. We'll be using our chiffon cloth or our muslin bag just once again. I'll be pouring this into this bag. Again, you can use your muslin bag, your chiffon cloth, or your cheesecloth. Any of these can serve. Look at that. The water is now well separated. This is piping hot. You have to be very careful with this water. At this point, I don't add any seasoning to this. This is because when you add any seasoning, you will notice that as the water is draining, the seasoning is draining as well. So look at the wara or tofu or bean curd as you may call it, but we'll be draining this water properly. If you would like to add salt or pepper, you can do that right now. For me, it is not time to season, so I will simply put a heavy object on top of this bag. I put this and then I placed my second mortar just like so. Next is the marinade mix. You can use any marinade mix or recipe of your choice. I will be marinating this before frying it. You can use any seasoning of your choice. Pressing the tofu will take about 30 minutes to drain all the water. So, while you're preparing your marinade mix or your recipe, let this drain. If you would use my marinade mix and you want your tofu to be crispy on the outside, make sure you add some corn starch. This will help it to be more crispier on the outside and delicious on the inside. And the texture is out of this world. Now, the tofu is ready. Look at that. It is very firm. This took about 30 minutes with a heavy object on top. Look at that, guys. Make sure the water is well drained to get a very firm tofu. Although there are different texture you can get, if you are going for a very firm one, make sure the water is well drained. So I'll be soaking this in cold water for at least 30 minutes. This is for the texture to be more intense. It can also remove the extra bitterness or sourness caused by the coagulant. If you don't want the taste of whatever you used as your coagulant, you have to soak this in cold water for at least 30 minutes. After this time, all the bitterness or the sourness or the taste of whatever the coagulant is will disappear. Cut this into any shape of your choice. The shape is totally up to you. The size is up to you as well. This is how I love to make mine. I love making them big cubes. Next is the marinade mix. Remember I said if you want this to be crispier, make sure you add cornstarch. I'll be marinating this in my marinade mix for at least 30 minutes. You can even do this for up to 2 days. This will allow the tofu to soak all the flavor you used to marinate. This will make it to be tastier and very delicious. Next is to fry this deliciousness. I normally fry onions in my oil before frying. This will help to give it a very good flavor. Do you love doing this? Let me know in the comment section below. I will go ahead to fry. At this time, this tofu would have soaked out the flavor and dried up. You can also bake, grill, or fry just like I'm doing. If you are baking, make sure you flip in between. Once this is golden brown, just the way you love it, take it off the heat and enjoy. This is soy milk I made some days ago. The recipe is on the channel. I'll be linking it. If you want this, you can go for it. Look at that, guys. This is so delicious. It is nutritious as well. You can use it in your soup. You can use it in your stew. Did you notice the egg effect on the tofu? Remember I said if you want it to be crispier than this, add some cornstarch and you are good to go. To preserve your tofu, you can refrigerate. Have you been making tofu before now? Would you be making tofu with my recipe? If you do, can you give me feedback in the comment section below? I'll be waiting for you guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and turn on notifications if you haven't. I will see you in my next one. Cheers to your success. Keep being amazing. Bye bye.